Hello everyone, it is Sal here. A very warm welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to be showing you perfumes which I believe are must-tries. But before we get into it, if you're new here then welcome. I make new perfume videos every single week, so if that interests you then please be sure to subscribe to my channel below. And if you would like to be notified every time I make a new upload, then please feel free to click the notification bell as well. Also, I do just quickly want to say a huge thank you to all of my returning subscribers. Thank you guys so very much for your support. It makes my day every time I see a new comment from you guys, being able to like interact with you guys. I feel very lucky to have you guys, you know, coming back to my channel and things like that. So I just want to say I really do appreciate every single one of you. Okay, so the reason I kind of decided to do this kind of video is because every now and then, you know, if I mention some of these fragrances and then maybe one of you guys will say, oh, I haven't tried that one, or you'll just let me know which ones you have and have not tried. And, you know, sometimes when you say that, I'll think, oh my goodness, they just have to try this, you know what I mean? So I've grouped together these fragrances that I feel like are sort of must-tries. I wouldn't say that they're like blind buys. I wouldn't recommend, you know, just going out and blind buying them. Definitely don't do that. I mean, only if you are very kind of good at blind buying and you tend to get it right, but I wouldn't risk that. However, I would say if you get the chance, I would try these basically. So if you're able to acquire like a sample, or maybe, you know, once the shops reopen you would be able to try them in the shops, or like I say, only if you are very confident at blind buying, maybe you could blind buy them, but again I would just be very cautious. But these are just some fragrances that I really want to bring to your attention, you know, so for like in the future, maybe if you get the chance to try them, I definitely would. Okay, so first up today is kind of, I'm gonna mention two at the same time, and it is the Mugler Auras. So this is them here. Whoops, that one's the wrong way around. There we go. These fragrances are absolutely stunning, you guys. And the reason I'm mentioning both is because you might already know whether or not you like the original. It might just not be for you. I know that this isn't for everybody. I certainly adore it. This is my favourite actually. I much prefer the original one. You might know that you don't like the original. In that case, I would maybe suggest giving the Aura au Sensuelle a try. So this is the flanker version. This one is much softer. It almost has like a marshmallowy, like it still has the green accord to it for sure. It has that green notes, like that plant-like nature, but it's almost as if somebody has created a marshmallow sort of naturally flavoured with green notes, if that makes sense. So this is very marshmallowy, it's pillowy soft, almost like a cloud. It's delicate, it's not as strong and punchy as this one. So yeah, this is a really nice option. It's definitely worth a try because I think many people would actually prefer this one over the original. So that's why I suggest maybe giving both of them a try, because you might find that, you know, you much prefer the flanker to the original or vice versa. The original one I think is just a must try for just many reasons. Reason number one, it's extremely unique. I have never ever smelt anything even remotely like this. I think the whole concept behind this fragrance as well, the marketing behind it, you know, the adverts, like the power of the jungle, like that whole idea, the whole aesthetic of this kind of campaign, if you know what I mean, the packaging as well, the scent itself. I just think nothing else like this has been done before. It's extremely unique. I just love it so much. It's such a strong image, if you know what I mean, like the advert, the concept, the bottle itself. It's just such a strong, brilliant concept in my opinion, and I love the smell so much. I think this is probably like signature scent worthy because it's so unique, it's so beautiful. It's quite addictive actually, with that deep, rich, gorgeous woody vanilla note in here. I just think it is a must try. Definitely don't blind buy it, but if you get the chance to try this, definitely give it a try. It's funny because like I remember for years, or like a few years, I kept seeing this in the department stores, and every time I would just walk by it, I would never try it, and I don't know why. I think I just had this feeling that it wouldn't be for me. Like because I knew that it had like green sort of aspects to it, I never even bothered giving it a try. I do think that it's a must try. It's definitely not going to be for everyone, but it's the sort of fragrance that if it does work for you, it's a truly beautiful experience being able to enjoy this fragrance. So that is Mugler Aura. Next up is one that I'm gonna like skim through really quickly because I do mention it a lot, but it is definitely a must try, you guys, like it 100% is, and that is the gorgeous Stelena Exclusive. So I would say that this is definitely a must try. Maybe you can order a sample from somewhere. It's just absolutely beautiful. I would say this one more than the Delina. Like, I have tried both. I've tried this one and the original Delina, and I do like both, but to me this is a must try. Like, yes, you can try the Delina if you get the chance, you know what I mean, but this is a must try because it's just absolutely amazing, you guys. So this fragrance, it kind of does it all. It's actually kind of hard to explain. So I've received a compliment on this fragrance before, and the way that the girl described it, she said, oh, it's really beautiful and fresh. And it's just, that really amazed me, the fact that she described it as a fresh fragrance, because in some ways it kind of is. Like the sillage that it gives off, it almost has a slight fresh quality from the pear and the lychee and things like that, but it's also slightly gourmand, it's slightly powdery, it's creamy, it's woody, it's vanillic, it's rosy, it has a slight dreamy vintage quality to it. It doesn't smell like a vintage fragrance. It's almost one of these strange fragrances that can do it all. It has like aspects of so many different fragrance genres all in this one scent. It's really truly wonderful, you guys. It's something that actually when I first tried this I wasn't blown away by it, if I'm being honest. It took me a good few tries of this fragrance to appreciate it and to realise how wonderful it actually was, because upon the first sniff I just sort of thought, oh, it's a powdery, slightly old-fashioned rosy fragrance. That's genuinely all I thought. But the thing with this one is it has so many layers, you guys, and it develops quite a lot on the skin. So truly being able to appreciate that development, like the multifaceted aspects that this scent profile has, it's truly amazing, you guys. It's just so beautiful, I can't even explain. It's truly wonderful, so definitely give this one a try if you can. Again, I wouldn't blind buy this because I've heard this isn't for everybody, but if you can try it, I definitely would. The next fragrance, which is an absolute must try, you guys, is Guerlain Black Perfecto, the Eau de Parfum concentration. This was one of the really early fragrances in my like collection, when I sort of first really started my collection last year. This was one of the very first fragrances that I had, and one of the first fragrances that I truly fell in love with, and which then inspired me to continue collecting fragrances. This also made me realise how much I actually do enjoy the note of rose, because up until that point I really just, I was maybe slightly ignorant to perfume notes in general, because basically I just dismissed that note. I thought, oh, it smells old-fashioned, it's boring, it's this, it's that. Like, I didn't think for a second, hang on a minute, it can be done in different ways. It can be a dark rose or a dewy bright rose, it can be a fruity rose or a floral. Like, there's so many different ways that it can come across. It's not just, you know, it's not just a one-dimensional thing that smells the same all the time. It's not like that at all. But anyway, when I tried this, I loved it basically, and then I found out that this has a really prominent rose note in it, and that's when I realised how wrong I was, basically. I realised, oh my goodness, rose can smell outstanding, it can be so different to what I thought it could smell like, and this is just such a badass, like, femme fatale, rich, mysterious, dark, seductive fragrance. It's so feminine as well, you guys, and it's slightly edgy. It has a leather note in here, but it's really not that strong. If you're not a fan of leather, I still wouldn't be put off by this, because I'm not a fan of leather, to be honest with you. I'm not at all. But the way that it's done in here, it's just, it gives it an accent. It's not like a dominant leather smell, it just gives it like that accent that makes it very unique. So this has the leather, it has the rose, it has cherry, and it has almond, you guys. It is utterly stunning, and I definitely think, like, if you've never tried it, I think you're in for a treat. I would definitely give this one a try. In my opinion, it's like a must try, just because, again, it's so unique. Like, there's nothing else out there like this, in my opinion, just because it has those very prominent accords of like the thick, beautiful, luscious almond, the rose, and the cherry as well gives it like a sweet sourness, which again adds to the unique quality and gives it more of like an edginess. It's just utterly beautiful, you guys. I'm pretty sure there's a licorice note in here as well, adding to that darkness. There's tonka bean in here. It's beautiful, you guys. It's a whole mood. Like, this generates a whole mood, a whole persona, and I love when the fragrances can do that. I love when they really have a personality of their own, if you know what I mean. Like they have really something interesting about them, and that is this fragrance here. So that is Guerlain Black Perfecto. Next up today, which is a fragrance that is absolutely a must try, is Juliette Has A Gun. You guys, just try it. You just have to try it. Go on to Juliette Has A Gun website, order a sample, or you can order like a 7.5 ml. You can go onto their website and you can order like this size, 7.5 ml. Obviously it's like not super expensive. It's not anywhere near what you'd be paying for a full bottle. Just order one of these, or you can maybe even order like a smaller sample, but there are ways of actually being able to try this one before you buy it. If you just have a look on the Juliette Has A Gun website, it is truly amazing, you guys. I don't even know where to start with this one. So if you like powdery fragrances, and you're fairly familiar with many powdery fragrances, you're in for a treat with this one because it is a very unusual powdery fragrance. This one has like a sandpaper, almost like it feels slightly rough when you actually smell it. Like, you know, some fragrances just have a smell, but others are so strong, or they're so distinctive rather, that they almost have a texture. This fragrance has a texture when you smell it. So this one, it has a very prominent and beautiful luxurious caramel note in here, but in equal measure to that caramel note is a beautiful strong sandalwood note, and those two together are absolutely heavenly. They also have like a raspberry note in here. It's just really unlike anything I've ever smelled. This is a truly unique fragrance, you guys. It's cloudy, it's thick, it's beautiful, it's kind of a gourmand, but a very refined gourmand. Like, this is not tooth-achingly sweet. If you really love sweet fragrances, but you like them done in a very classy way, you know, you don't like them smelling cheap, you don't like them smelling too much, this is a beautiful, addictive sweet fragrance, but it's not too much. They have other things in here really complementing that caramel and just balancing it out, you know, so it's not too in your face at all, it's not too sickly sweet. Oh my goodness, you guys, it is a must try. This truly is a must try. It's so unique, it's so unlike anything else, and also this isn't really to do with the actual smell, but the bottle is beautiful and the atomizer is incredible. It's just something else. This is a 5-star fragrance easily. So that is Juliette Has A Gun. Okay, so next up is another must-try fragrance, but this is like a conditional one. So this might not be a must-try fragrance for you, but it might be depending on your situation. So if you were not a fan of the original Alien, like the Eau de Parfum, if you are one of those people that cannot understand why it's such a big deal, you don't understand why so many people like it because it's so sickening and cloying and heavy, if that is your opinion of the original Alien Eau de Parfum, then you really need to try the Eau de Toilette. You really do, because basically what happened with me is I had that same opinion of Alien, the original Eau de Parfum. That's what I thought. So I bought this one instead, and I gave this one a try, and I really liked it, and I wore it and found that I was craving it more and more, and then I decided to give the Eau de Parfum a try afterwards, and now I love that fragrance. Seriously, that's what happened. So if you are not a fan of the Alien Eau de Parfum, but you want to be able to like it, or you just couldn't understand like why everyone else loved it and you didn't, if you're in any way curious about Alien, then just try the Eau de Toilette first. Maybe the Eau de Toilette alone would be the one for you. You might not end up getting the Eau de Parfum or whatever, like that doesn't really matter, but I would definitely give this one a try, because you might just find out that you truly love this one. This is a much lighter version. It's basically got that Alien smell, but it's not got that really warm amber in it. It's not got that at all. So for me personally, that was one of the main things that kind of put me off the Eau de Parfum, the fact that they had that really cloying warm amber note in there, which I now love, but at first I really couldn't bear it. This does not have that. So yeah, if you found Alien too warm, too cloying and everything that I just mentioned, I would, if you can, I would give this one a try, the eau de toilette version. This one is really long lasting as well. Like, it's not like an eau de toilette at all. It's like an eau de parfum in the way that it like projects, the way that you can smell it on yourself, and the way that it lasts. So it's very good quality. The bottle is absolutely stunning. I don't know which bottle I prefer actually. I think this one is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, definitely give this one a try if you were curious about the Alien range. Next up today is the beautiful Hugo Boss, the Scent for Her Private Accord. Now, the first thing I'll mention about this fragrance is, unfortunately, this has really poor lasting power. I've read a comment from somebody before saying that it actually lasts very well on them, so it might just be dependent on your skin chemistry or something like that. But unfortunately this one doesn't last very well on me, but I still love it nonetheless. I just kind of overspray it a little bit and it tends to last a bit longer if I do that. But this is an absolutely beautiful gourmand fragrance, you guys. So this has like an almost orange peel note. It has a powdery cocoa kind of accord in it as well. Sweet in a powdered cocoa kind of way, so not sickeningly sweet. It's just a beautiful, it's gourmand and it's very sweet, but it's not too sweet at all. Like, this has a beautiful level of sweetness in it, you guys, and it also has a note of coffee in here, which I think again maybe counteracts any sweetness. Like, it just gives it a kind of balance. This is truly amazing, you guys. This has again a kind of texture. It's like if you imagine like a very fine powder just having been like puffed in the air like that, it's almost got that kind of light slightly like cocoa powder kind of texture to it. It's just amazing, you guys. It is so beautiful. As you can see, I've worn quite a lot of this. It's a truly addictive fragrance, you guys. I've actually not found any other ones from Boss that I like. I've tried like a few other ones and I wasn't that amazed by them at all. In fact, I didn't really like them, to be honest. I found them either boring or not smelling that nice, but this one is truly amazing. It's almost kind of surprising to me that they even created this one because it's so different to their other ones in the line, like the other ones that they've done. But this is by far my favourite. It's really, really good, you guys. If you're a fan of like chocolatey, coffee, gourmand kind of fragrances, then this is definitely a must try for any gourmand lover. Seriously, it's that good. It almost smells like natural cocoa or something like that, with a very beautiful sweetness in it. It's highly addictive. It's just absolutely stunning, you guys, seriously. I can imagine if you wear this, it would make anyone around you weak at the knees, to be honest. It is just that beautiful. I can imagine this being a compliment getter. Again, the only thing slightly, the only negative point about this one really for me is the projecting power and the lasting power and things like that. It's just, to me, it's not that strong, but I certainly think like if you were happy to maybe carry a decant around with you or just like top up your spray or overspray it, you know, when you first spray it, I think you'd be good to go. So I would definitely give this one a try if you can. So that's Hugo Boss, the Scent for Her Private Accord. The next fragrance, which I think is an absolute must try, is the beautiful Florabotanica by Balenciaga. This is a truly unique fragrance, you guys. This one totally blew me away, and actually this is the only fragrance I have ever repurchased. This is actually a repurchase, which is unheard of for me, to be honest. Like, I've never done it. There's always too many new fragrances to try, and I just mostly can't really be bothered going out my way to rebuy a fragrance, but this one I did repurchase because it's truly amazing. The only thing is, if you're not a fan, like if you really recoil at the thought of a fresh, like slightly green fragrance, then this might not be for you. But if you don't mind fragrances like that, then I think you're gonna possibly love this. Again, I don't want to say for sure, just in case, you know, because everyone's different, but for me, I adore this one. And actually, to give you like a comparison, basically I am generally not a fan of fresh fragrances at all. Like, I generally go for, I mean, you know the kind of fragrance I like, you know, like Poison Girl, like rich fragrances, sweet, kind of heavier fragrances. They're very much my thing. This one, however, is a total love for me. I never wear fresh fragrances other than this, basically. So actually, something which I have been really inspired by recently because of this fragrance is the fact that it gives me so much motivation. I feel so on the ball whenever I wear this. So at the moment, like, I'm kind of at home, like I'm working from home, things like that. So this gives me a lot of motivation required to like get things done. my routine has actually improved a bit recently, you guys, because before, like, my routine was really falling apart. Like, I was waking up later and later and then going to bed later, and it was just a mess basically. But I have finally managed to like sort my routine out, and now I actually get up when my alarm goes off at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I am being more productive now with my days. And I'm not saying that it's like all because of this fragrance, you know what I mean? I just think I got my act together. But basically, this one definitely helps me if I am having the sort of day when I really want to be productive and I have things that I need to get done. This is a nice fragrance because it doesn't really distract me. Like, I think if I wore a super sweet fragrance or something like that, it might even distract me from my work a little bit maybe. But this one doesn't distract me, it actually helps to focus me. It's very beautiful as well, so this is not limited to like a work situation at all. This could easily be an everyday fragrance or any situation basically, because it's very, very versatile. It's just truly unique. It's a kind of dewy, crisp, slightly sharp rose fragrance, but it's still kind of rounded at the same time. Like, it's sharp but it's not pointy. That doesn't make sense. Okay, no, so it's bracing. It's very bracing, very bright sparkly nature to it. So there's rose in here, there's cannabis, I think, there's mint, which is really intriguing, a really interesting use of that note in a fragrance, I think. And I just think it's wonderful, you guys. It's the most unusual floral fragrance I've ever smelled. Like, this is as far from generic as you can possibly get, in my opinion. I absolutely love it, and I do highly recommend giving it a try if you can. And last up is one that I have been going on and on and on about, and I'm sure you might be slightly tired of hearing me talk about it. I'm really sorry if that's the case, but I had to mention it in this video, and that is Kenzo Flower Elixir. This one is incredible. Actually, if you know that you like Hugo Boss Private Accord, if you already love that, then I think you're gonna love this. It's very, very sweet and edible smelling. It's extremely feminine and seductive and dark and mysterious and sophisticated. It's absolutely stunning. So this is kind of like, as I say, a darker gourmand version of the original Kenzo Flower. They are very different, so even if you were not a fan of the original Flower, I think there's a chance you might still like this. But it kind of depends, because, you know, if you didn't like the powderiness of Kenzo Flower, then this one is like, of course, it's still powdery, so, you know, you might not like it if you don't like powdery fragrances. But if you like powdery fragrances and you like gourmand fragrances, then I do think you're gonna love this. It's truly amazing, you guys, and if you get the chance, I would definitely give it a try. Let me know in the comments what your must-try fragrances are. I would really love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of your continued love and support and your comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.